Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bubblegum Reviews. My name is Steve, and tonight's review will be on the movie Cool World with Kim Basinger, Gabriel Byrne, and Brad Pitt. This is a first-time watch for me. A little quick summary into this is Brad Pitt is a detective. Well, he's ends up getting in a car accident and becomes a detective of Cartoon Town, and his job is to make sure the humans don't have relations with the cartoon people. And Gabriel Byrne just happens to be trying to put a kibosh, I guess, if you want to say, on things. Anyways, I this is a first watch for me on any Bakshi, um, and I will say I like the animation style. I really like the animation style. I like how it's like Looney Tune-ish style, even though it's a lot more sexual than anything I've seen besides the freaking Rob Zombie movie I watched a few reviews ago. Uh, excuse me. Early going, there's a scene, pretty much the opening scene in the movie, where he's getting off the plane and this music starts playing. It's like big band music from like the 50s. Love the music, totally wrong scene. So the music in this was actually pretty good. It was chaotic for me, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I just felt like it didn't work for the movie in a way. Like they'd be doing something not all crazy like, and they're sitting there playing like this freaking music, and you're just like, what is going on? Like he's not even doing much. So that was a little like, swing and a miss on the music, but as I said, the music itself, I liked it. It just was in the wrong scenes, kind of thing. So the animation style is really cool. It does have a lot of similarities to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I'll get into that a little bit more here at the very end. There is a scene in this near the end of the movie where, like, if you're paying attention, in the front of the screen there'll be times where there's like random cartoon characters doing stuff in the front. Well, and near the end of the movie there's one that goes scrolling on by, and it just happens to be one of the guys that's from the Pink Panther cartoon. So if you're familiar with the cartoon, it's the guy who's got the big old schnoz with a mustache that's like sometimes wearing a hat, sometimes not. I mean, it's the only other thing that he's only like always like fighting with. So I totally saw him and I was like, holy crap. I wonder if that was like they allowed him to put that character in the movie, or he was just trying to do his impression of one, because that was totally the guy. The other thing I noticed is this movie kind of had a feel of RIPD. So if you remember the story in RIPD, it's kind of similar to this. This movie, there was a lot that did not work for me. One, the script in this was pretty flat. The story in this was just all over the place to where you're like, wait, what? And this movie did not work. Like, the acting was good. Brad Pitt did a really good job. Like, this was a young Brad Pitt, too. Gabriel Byrne, he did a good job. Kim Basinger was pretty sexy. She definitely was, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say on her part. This movie, I do want to see other Bakshi films because I like the animation. I know he's a very different cartoon style person, if you must, because I've heard Felix the Cat is pretty crazy. Anyways, as I was saying about the animation being like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so I was kind of looking it up, and apparently the reason this movie didn't get taken in by audience so well is because I guess a lot of people felt like this was literally taken from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Holly being Jessica Rabbit, they're the same pinup style, and this is a bunch of pinup girls, and that being like it, and I can totally see that. Like, I literally, just from watching this, was like, wow, this totally has Who Framed Roger Rabbit style to it. And it does. But yeah, that's why I feel like its ratings definitely hurt, and so did the box office. So, anyways, director we have Ralph Bakshi. Bakshi. Sorry, I for some reason I have his last name kind of gives me a little tongue twister here. IMDb. Oh, sorry. So the movies he's done is the Lord of the Rings animation one. He did Coonskin, Fire and Ice, Felix the Cat, and Wizards. I want to see all of those except for, I guess, now Felix the Cat. I do want to give them all a shot. I have Lord of the Rings one, so that will be coming up probably in the next month or so. IMDb gave this a 4.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 4%. Dog Bones gave it a 2 out of 4. I give it a 4 out of 10 myself. Reasons I'd tell you to watch this would be the fact that the animation is really cool. The drawings, too, like the town drawings. So that's one thing I kind of noticed. Is if you see some of the guys that have almost like the Joker style face, like Heath Ledger, how it's like way up here, and it shows like all teeth and stuff, and it's supposed to look evil. That totally reminded me of Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween Town. I totally saw a little bit of that in this movie, which was kind of cool. But yeah, as I was saying, acting was good, animation's good, music's pretty cool. So, I mean, if you're into this kind of thing, if you're into his other movies, this is definitely one you want to see. Because you got to be like, oh, well, this is number 3 or number 5 or number 1 or whatever. It's one of those things you want to see. So box office was 14.1 million on a budget of 28, so it was negative 13.9 million. And like I said, I feel like that's got a lot to do because of how people kind of felt like it was portraying Who Framed Roger Rabbit. An interesting fact was apparently Ralph wanted Brad Pitt to play Jack Deeb's Gabriel Byrne's character. Excuse me. And Paramount was not wanting that to happen. And Brad Pitt was also on board with Bakshi's deal. Like he was like wanting that as well. Which in my thing is I kind of feel like they wanted that because Brad Pitt was the younger guy and it might have drawn a better audience having the younger guy be the sleazy or whatever. I don't know how they were trying to get that out, but I just feel like they kind of wanted the younger guy to be that and then an older guy to be the detective kind of thing, which Bob Hoskins was the detective in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So see, that's I definitely feel like there's some Who Framed. He kind of plucked some of Who Framed into this. But anyways, yeah, so that's all for this one. You guys have a good night. Up next, one of my 4 options, which I probably will be doing this one first, will be Valkyrie. I also have Wedding Crashers, Apocalypto, and American Gangster. So those are my next 4 options. Like I said, the one I showed you is probably going to be up next. Anyways, that's all for tonight. You guys have a good night. Like and subscribe. Check out my letterbox. And check out my eBay. As I said, if you guys want to buy something, let me know you're a subscriber and I will give you free shipping. If there already is free shipping on the item, then I'll discount the item. So, yeah. All right. Have a good night.